Hi, Apurva. Hi, guys. Can anyone hear me? Hi, Sarthak. Hi, Ashu. Am I audible to everyone? Hi, Preeti. Okay, excellent. Hi, GC. Okay, let me. Taking. I'm just waiting. Apurva is unable to join. Okay, let's try again. Hi,
Yeah,
Apurva.
that's fine. Hi.
Good evening, Apurva. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It was very nice catching up with you a few days back. I mean, it was an absolute riot.
Yeah, right.
Uh, your voice is cracking up. I mean, is your net connection fine?
Uh, yes, it's showing full
Okay.
for me.
Okay, but then
I
your feed is
after
slightly
maybe
hazy.
few
Okay, okay,
seconds
probably.
it clear. Sometimes it happens for Insta Live. After few seconds it becomes clear.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining us today, this Sunday evening. And we have a host who is a sports nutritionist. You can say she's a scientist in that field. And practically the list of what she has achieved is immeasurable and it's insane, literally. If I read it out, let me start with the reading part first. Apurva has more than 10 years of various experience working with fitness enthusiasts and grassroots to international level athletes to attain nutrition and performance goals. She holds a degree in BSc Applied Nutrition and PG MSc in Food Science Nutrition from SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. She has been a top rank holder in school and college, currently pursuing a PG diploma in sports nutrition from International Olympic Committee. She has worked earlier as nutritionist and sports with Sports Authority of India, Talwarkar's Fitness and Eureka Forbes. She is a net qualified visiting lecturer at SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. She also has conducted sports nutrition sessions with various sport associations, institution, clubs. Other than academics, Apurva has been in sports field for the last 23 years and is the recipient of Shiv Chhatrapati State Sports Award 2007-8 by Government of Maharashtra. This just doesn't do justice to what this lady has achieved over the years. It's immense. Her knowledge in sports nutrition science is it's absolutely mind-boggling. You can compare her knowledge, even say much better than a biochemistry professor or something like that, you can say. I mean, immense her knowledge is immense. I can go on raving about her knowledge all day and all long, but we still have to do this uh, chat host for everyday diet for everyday athletes. Okay, going back to the nutrition part, Apurva. I mean, nutrition is the key to development and growth and is the backbone of a healthy natural life. Nutrition comes in many forms as per requirements among infants, elderly, children, adults. Uh, it is still this nutrition science, sports nutrition science, it is still in a very nascent stage in India and probably in our three, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and all. What is sports nutrition? Why is it different from regular nutrition? Why is it a different science altogether? I mean, considering the fact that we at Foodstrong have invested wholly and solely into this field, I mean, Avartan, his team of R&D, I mean, they have gone ahead miles and leaps into this. Just give us a short
Right.
this thing reply on this.
Okay. So when we talk about nutrition, nutrition itself is field science which has so many, specializations. Okay, you have, as you told, it depends on the age, the gender. So we have pediatrics, geriatrics. Okay, we have clinical. Like that, we also have sports nutrition. Now, when we're talking about, how sports nutrition is different, when we compare a sedentary individual who is not into any particular sports activity or exercise or workouts to an athlete, okay, whether it's a recreational athlete or an elite athlete, okay, you see the abilities, you see their training sessions, okay, they're intense, they are doing so much of physical activity, and when you're doing a physical activity, you burn a lot of calories, and you not only burn the extra calories, but you also, use up the sources are body, like you'll be using your muscle mass, you'll be getting all the nutrients from your bones like calcium and all that, which is required for that additional which is the additional what you say, burden, maybe not burden, I would say positive burden of that physical activity on your body. So for that additional thing which your body is doing, you require something different from the normal nutrition, okay, which a sedentary individual is following. And when we talk about athletes or, sports persons or physically active people who are into recreational sports or running or, going regularly to the gyms for workouts, all these things matters, not only their normal nutrition or normal wear and tear maintains or development, but what they require before training, during the training, post training for better and faster recovery. Okay, if the athlete, the competitive athlete playing in events, different events, if they have multiple events in a day, they need to recover faster. I got a call. Okay, Sarthak is saying, I think to me that please join again.
And your connection is fine, I think. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sarthak has told me to rejoin because the audience is not able to see me properly.
Yes, I think we can see you now. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, now the connection is fine.
What about the audience? Can we ask the audience?
Yes. Audience, is she visible and she audible? I think so. Okay. Yes, we are fine now. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was telling that the athletes, so I always tell the athletes that you are humans, because you have, the adapted, you have adapted for those particular fitness component. Metabolic adaptations are there, and for these things you have more capabilities, fitness capabilities, than the normal human being who is not into sports or not into, intense fitness. So for these individuals of our athletic population, the sports nutrition is different in terms of we are taking care of their intense requirements, fuel requirements during their workouts, and for post, training for the recovery, faster recovery, better recovery, so they can, be again, bounce back to their next event or to their next training session. So all those things goes into it. It's not about only the balanced diet, but also sport specific nutrition. Other thing is like there are different categories of sports. You have endurance sports, you have team sports, then you have strength and power sports. Now, if you see these categories, all these categories require a particular body composition, body physique, okay? To achieve that, nutrition an important role, okay, whether you want a higher muscle mass, or you want, you know, even you want to lower your body fat, like endurance runners. When I'm talking about Indian elite marathoners, they have somewhere body fat percentage around 11 to 12%. Okay, the elite marathoner runners who are in foreign abroad, they have lower than that. They will have somewhere around 5, 6, 7% of body fat. Okay, so you know, to achieve that lower body fat percentage, again, nutrition plays an important role besides your training. So all these things, whether if I'm talking about a bodybuilder, okay, you see the hypertrophy of a bodybuilder, you know, he has to build that muscle mass. He has to bulk up. So the amount of carbs, the amount of proteins he'll be requiring during his hypertrophy phase. And then there is a cutting phase where he has to work on the definitions. Okay, so then fat is less, you know, you have to give some fat burning foods or fat burning supplements, you know, to push him to give that definition to the body. So all these different athletes in different categories will have their uniqueness in terms of the sport, and with that the nutrition also changes, the nutrition strategy changes. We don't call, you know, nutrition plans for athletes, we call that as a nutrition strategy, because it's dynamic, it's going to change with their seasons, competitive season, whether they're working on body composition, whether they are doing, you know, in their competitive events. So it keeps changing, it will adapt to the athletes athletes training phase. So that's how sports nutrition is different from normal nutrition.
Wow. I mean, that is the reason why it's totally secluded from the normal diet and nutrition part, and has been made into a separate science. I mean, no wonder. I mean, I see all this pro athletes and even the higher level of athletes. I mean, their nutrition plan and diet is unimaginable. The amount of money they spend into that. I mean, because we all know that a pro athlete's shelf life is very less. So you need to get the maximum out of it. And how to do that? You have to follow a very particular scientific way to extract it from you. I mean, without this science, with the normal dal, roti, eggs, chicken, you will not be able to sustain such a performance. Oh, no wonder. Okay, coming back. Is sports nutritional science about a holistic approach to sports? I mean, why is this so important to be a holistic approach?
So when we, you know, I'll tell you a fun fact, you know, whenever athletes come to me initially for an initial consultation, or they give a call asking, you know, I want a diet or sports diet, first thing they will ask me is, which supplement should I take? You know, what should I take? Yeah, that's the first question. So they think that sports nutrition is all about supplements. Okay, so it's not like that. I tell them, you know, there's a pyramid. How a pyramid is there, that, you know, your foundation, your base is huge. Okay, so that foundation is your balanced diet. It should be natural foods. Yeah, that you have to correct first, and then you have to look into your sports specific. As I told earlier also, depending on your sports category, what is your body composition requirement, your fitness goal, your health, you know, performance goals. And depending on that, your pre-workout, during workout, post-workout will change. And on top there, a small portion will be of supplements wherever it is necessary, and for what goal you require, or for what body composition modification you require that particular supplement, in what dosage. It will differ for everyone. So it is just sprinkling of supplements in your you know, balanced diet. Okay, so the foundation is always we say that whole foods or natural foods, okay? And when we are talking about holistic approach, yes, so it is not only performance based, or it is not only, body composition requirements. We also see to it that athlete is overall, in a healthy state. His overall health and well-being should be improved, should be enhanced, and the immune system, his immunity should be better. So not only that, whether his speed has increased, or his strength has increased, or his muscle mass is increased, but we have to also see whether he's not falling sick more often, yeah, or whether if he has any cold, fever, or some infection, is recovering faster. Okay, so sports nutrition also takes into the holistic approach, that we are also looking after their performance goals and fitness goals, and also we are looking after their overall health and well-being. Okay, and not only their physical fitness, we also see the mental health around food. Whether, if sometimes it happens with most of the athletes who are into even marathoners, most of the marathoners who come to me, they will say, Apurva, I want to lose weight. And when I ask them why you want to lose weight, they say like, no, I want to, increase my speed, and I want to increase my personal best. So, if I lose weight, I will run faster. So I always tell them, no, it's a very misunderstanding, that it's not always like that, when you lose weight, you're going to run faster. Sometimes losing weight, you'll be losing all the, essential components from your body, which is going to impact your performance. So when we are talking about holistic approach, you have to also see what relationship they have with the food. Whether, because they want to achieve something, whether they are starving themselves, or how they are around food, whether, if they eat their dessert, they feel guilty, they have something, negative emotions, and they then after that they will run for 1 or 2 hours, because they want, get free of that guilt of eating that, one piece of cake or a slice of pizza. So that also affects overall your health, also your performance, and how your body takes in or digests that food, overall how the food is taken by the body. So that emotions or that relationship with your food also matters. So sports nutrition also includes all these things. So I would say it's a holistic approach, and not just, you want to increase your speed and you want to increase your muscle mass or performance. It is, everything is there in to nutrition strategy, sports nutrition
strategy, right. Coming back to the part where people ask you regarding supplements and everything, the same thing happens to me mostly whenever I'm not an out and out very fast runner. My pace is of a mediocre kind of pace, and I manage that because I have my gym workout, because I do my gym workout also at the same time. So my diet and my protein plan is very different from other runners. I cannot prescribe that protein plan to you. But my protein requirement is very different, because I have to take at least two to three scoops per day, because I have to compensate for the bodybuilding that I have to, strength training that I have to do in the evening, because morning I run and evening I work out in the gym. So likewise, same thing in the gym. They ask me, sir, kya supplements lete ho? I mean, they start with this. How can I give you my diet plan? I mean, it's not suitable for you. You have to work it out among yourselves. I mean, how to do it. So coming back to this diet path, how to create a personalized diet path rather than follow the herd, considering there are so many diet plans available online. People just do Control V, Control C, and that's it. I mean, how do you step out of this and find your own zone?
So again, I tell everyone whenever I'm taking sessions or workshops or counseling athletes or parents, or even, in coaching session, it is not like that, in sports nutrition, it does not happen that one size fits all. It is not like, I would give an example here that I see an influencer on Insta and she is promoting a 26 size jeans, and you also buy the 26 size jeans from that brand. But is it going to fit you? If you're a 30 size, how can the 26 size fit you? Okay. So maybe the brand is good, the supplement brand is good, but the dosage, the timing may not be suitable for you as that was suitable for that, influencer. So you have to see, or don't just copy paste, as I told you. You have to see to it that what your body requires. Listen to your body first. Whether you have any cramp, are you able to do that particular run in that given time. What is going wrong. Are you hitting the wall? Then are you fatigued all the time? How are you sleeping? When you wake up in the morning, are you fresh enough, or you're still lousy and lethargic throughout the day? So you all have to listen to your body first. What about your hunger? Are you feeling hungry? And if you eat something, is there a stomach upset, or you get loose motions, or you are constipated? All those things you have to first note down. Then what are you eating throughout so many years? What has been given to you from the family meals? What have you been eating? Is there any change? How much food you order from outside? How much you eat out? How much you drink alcohol? Okay, all these things matter first. So first, understand yourself. You're the best person to all this. Understand your body, write it down, and then I would advise, please go to a qualified nutritionist or qualified sports nutritionist or a qualified dietitian and show them. They might recommend you to do some blood tests, where you can see whether you're deficient in some of the vitamins, or your parameters are either high or low. Depending on that, the changes can be made to the diet. As I told you, when you're prescribing a nutrition strategy or a plan, it is customized, it is individualized. Okay, it's like stitching clothes for you. It has to be altered properly, it has to fit you properly. Okay, so same thing as nutrition. Just because your favorite celebrity or an influencer is following a certain diet for weight loss and they have achieved good benefits after following that particular diet, and they have lost a lot of weight and their skin is glowing, it does not happen just because they have achieved. You can achieve the same thing. Yeah, the backgrounds are different. Measurements, so many things come in when we are planning a nutrition strategy for that athlete or a physically active person. So don't just copy paste anything. I would advise, and don't just do experiments on yourself also, that okay, if my cholesterol is high, just see on internet what diet should be followed, or what food. Don't do that also. Go to a qualified nutritionist or a dietitian and get a proper customized and personalized plan for you, and then you will see the changes within 3 or 4 months. So that is there. And also consistency. I would really focus on this. Consistency is important. I see so many people start a diet and then within a month they they don't want to follow it, or
Right.
they think, okay, no, I'm not getting any results, so I should not follow it. It does not. It's
Yeah.
not a medicine. It's not a pill, like a painkiller. You take it and the pain goes away. It takes a lot of time for your body to adapt it. You will see results maybe in 2 months or 3 months. Don't expect that something you have started, like example, I say, to improve your stamina, there are studies that drink a glass of beetroot juice before your activity or run, or long duration activities, to improve your stamina. Just because someone has said it, yes, it has benefit, but if you have like 1 glass today and you see you start running and you don't find any improvement, it does not happen like that. It at least takes 4 to 6 weeks to see that increase in stamina. So
Right.
consistency is very much important. So that is there. Other thing, when you're talking about personalized diet also, or how an athlete, since our topic is everyday diet for athletes, so see to it that what food groups you're following. Okay, so there are cereals and millets, there are pulses and legumes, then there are flesh foods like your poultry, meat, and your animals products like milk and milk products. You have nuts and oil seeds, fats and oil, sugar, and fruits and vegetables. So among these food groups, how many food groups are you eating? Whether you're vegan or whether you're vegetarian or whether you're non-vegetarian, there are so many food preferences. So how many food groups are you eating, and each of these food groups will give some of the predominant nutrient from these food groups. Okay, so if you're consuming like a variety of foods from these food groups, you can get most of the nutrients from these foods on a regular basis. The other thing important for an athlete, or even a recreational athlete, is that see on what's on your plate. Yeah, most of the times it happens that I'm just eating roti sabji, or I'm eating just dal rice. Okay, so I always, simple way to see whether you'll be getting most of the nutrients, all the 6 nutrients, is see your plate. Your plate, half, if you are, you want to lose weight, or you want to lose fat, or you're a recreational athlete, or on your rest days or recovery days, half of your plate, so if your plate is a circle, half of your plate should be full of vegetables of color. Okay, so your fruits and vegetables basically give you more of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, fiber. Okay, all these things. So half of the plate should be that. Either it's a cooked vegetable, raw vegetable, soup, salad, anything it can be. Okay, and then the half portion you can divide into 1/4. 1/4 are your protein foods. Okay, now for vegetarians, the protein foods might be milk and milk products, your dahi, your paneer, your cheese, or whatever. Okay, or your pulses and legumes, your dals, sprouts, everything, usals. Okay, all those things. And for non-vegetarians also, if they're having your all the flesh foods, and poultry, okay, eggs and chicken and fish and meat, okay, it can be that 1/4 portion. And another 1/4 portion should be coming from your cereals and millets. You have wheat, rice, your millets are like jowar, bajra, ragi. There's so many different types because every region in our India has their own specialty. So, local variety, whatever you're eating, please include that. So this is just a basic representation. If your training intensity is going to be higher on a particular day, that carbohydrate requirement, that carbohydrate can be increased slightly, and the vegetables portion can be, lower. If you're on muscle mass, gaining muscle mass diet, okay, so your protein also can be slightly increased. So your veggies, carb foods, carbohydrate foods and protein foods can be in equal amount. So that's the simplest thing you can see what's on your plate. So if you have just having dal rice, you can include some veggies, whether it's a cooked sabji or salad. Okay, or simple thing, if you want to have like a one meal only, I don't want to cook, I'm alone at home, something, I don't want to prepare 2-3 things, as simple as that, you can have vegetable dal khichdi. Put in the dal, put in the rice and the vegetables. You're getting a complete meal. Okay, non-vegetarians can have eggs with that, or grilled chicken and sauteed vegetables and rice, or something like that, or make a wrap out of it and add paneer or grilled chicken, or rajma or chickpeas, and then you can add your veggies, make a wrap out of, say, corn rotis, or your normal wheat rotis, or a multigrain roti, and you're good to go. So these things you have to see whether you're getting everything from the food groups.
Excellent. Okay, now coming back to the supplements part. This is interesting. Let's talk about supplements. What are they, and why do we need them over and above our diet, or should they be part of a sports diet at all?
Okay, so as the name suggests, it's something to supplement. Okay, most of the times what happens to achieve something, okay, your diet may not fulfill all the nutrient requirements, whatever is required for that particular sports person. Okay, there would be an issue with the digestion, or the requirements, like example, a vegan athlete, protein, they are not getting enough good quality complete proteins from their diet. Okay, so what they can have, sometimes if you see most of my athletes or even clients, okay, when they come and show me the blood reports, almost I would say 99% of people are deficient in vitamin B12 and D3. Okay, if they're not taking any supplements, because some of these vitamins are very difficult to get from food, because the food sources itself has negligible amounts. Okay, so you have to resort to supplements. Okay, and when we're talking about sports people or athletes, as I told you, the training intensities are higher. They're training, say, 4 hours and 5 hours and 6 hours in a day for 6 days in a week. So their requirements of macronutrients and micronutrients also are higher. For that, and sometimes athletes hungry after an intense workout. Okay, so what happens if you give them a entire meal? Sometimes they don't like eating that. So all these things, factors are there, deficiency, nutrition deficiencies, the requirements are higher for all these things. First, see that the food is corrected. Okay, most of the thing is coming from food, and then over and above, wherever it's required, you can put in supplements. Okay, whether it's a protein supplement or it's a sports drink or a carbohydrate gel, or dietary supplements or ergogenic aids like creatinine and beta-alanine and all those things. Okay, a few of these supplements like creatine and all these, they help in some of the sports, like strength and power sports, or in bodybuilding where they need to increase their muscle mass. So creatine supplement can help give better result when they're taking, like if they're doing some creatine loading and then maintenance and all this. So some of the supplements do have beneficial effects. Not all the supplements in the market are good. Okay, not all the supplements are required by everyone. Okay, you might require protein maybe in some different dosages, might require in some different dosage, and the scoop I may be eating will be different. For you, you're okay with having whey protein, but if I have whey protein, I might get stomach. So I have to resort to some other type of protein. Okay, then what? So all these things, supplements. First of all, don't just focus on supplements. First, correct your diet. Once your diet is corrected, depending on your training phase or what fitness goal you want to achieve or performance goal you want to achieve, which supplements work for you. Try that out during your training sessions. Okay, see to it that whether that supplement is working. Obviously, under guidance. Don't self-experiment, but do that, because most of the time it happens, not all supplements work for all. Okay, though the studies have shown that this supplement is very good, it works, but sometimes it happens like caffeine. It does not work for everyone. Okay, so if it is working for you, then only it is of use. Otherwise, it's of no use for you, and you're unnecessarily spending so much of money. So that is my take on supplements.
Yes, regarding the caffeine part, I mean, I've seen many, even in the gym also, or even during a run. I mean, I've heard so many athletes, they say they take a cup of coffee, black coffee, before either a gym workout or before a run. I mean, whenever you do endurance program like running, or either you do a tempo run or you do a interval training, I mean, your heart rate is usually on the very higher side, spikes up a lot. I mean, when you take caffeine in a system, it's already going to push up the elevated heart rate much higher. So you are in the risk of probably cardiac arrest, or it could be a sinus arrhythmia, which might be popping up later on. So if it doesn't work, then you should not do it. I mean, you should either properly go for a full body medical test, get yourself tested. If your HR is on the if your resting HR is at the very lower side, then probably caffeine will work for you. Because I've seen guys in the gym faint after taking a shot of black coffee and then coming out and do multiple repetitions of heavy weights. The body's not able to sustain that. So that is a scary part, another which people don't usually understand the science behind it, and they just try to go in popping pills and taking all the shots just to make themselves look aesthetically good. I mean, hardly matters for all these things.
Yes.
Okay. Coming back to the protein part, we all know it's the core of muscle development and growth. Just some elaboration on its importance and its various types, what we have currently in our arsenal.
So proteins, there's so many functions of proteins in our body. It's not only your muscle building, but protein is a part of your hormones, so enzymes, hormones. It is a part of cell signaling. It is part of your transport. It is part of your structure. Your muscles are proteins. Then your bone structure, okay, that main structure involves protein. Your soft tissue, collagen, which is a protein, okay. So protein is involved in so many functions in the body, even the transporters like hemoglobin you have, okay, so that is nothing but a transport protein. So protein has so many functions. Yes, one of the like least function, like last function in the body is of energy source also. So it does provide with energy, but it's not the preferred source of energy by the body. The types, when you're talking about protein in terms of types, okay, there are so many varieties, complete proteins or incomplete proteins. Complete proteins are those proteins which have all the essential amino acids. Now, what are essential amino acids? Essential amino acids are amino acids which are not synthesized in our body. Okay, you have to take from food or supplements. You cannot synthesize. And there are something called as non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are synthesized in our body. They can be produced in our body. Okay, so complete protein foods are those which have all these essential amino acids in them. Example are your animal proteins. Okay, animal foods. And exception, there are also some exceptions in animal protein, like collagen is not a complete protein, okay, though it is coming from source. Then you have incomplete proteins, wherein in that foods not all the essential amino acids are present. There will be one or more than one limiting amino acids. Okay, example, you have legumes. Legumes will be limiting in one amino acid, essential amino acid, which is called methionine. Okay, when we're talking about cereals will be limiting or will be deficient in another essential amino acid, lysine. Okay, so these most of the plant foods, all the plant foods are incomplete. They don't have all essential amino acids. But the trick here, now vegetarians will see, then how we will get, our complete proteins. Something called as complementary proteins, we call them, wherein if you're a vegetarian and you want to get all the essential amino acids, you have to see that throughout the day you're consuming foods, incomplete protein foods, which are providing the complementary. Like example, you're consuming legumes, pulses, okay, and you're consuming cereals also, you're consuming also, okay. Why? Because it's like a puzzle piece, yeah. One puzzle piece is something, so you attach another puzzle piece which has the missing piece, okay. So you attach complete puzzle. So for vegetarians, you can do this complement. So not necessarily you have it in one go, but see to it that in the day you're different vegetarian proteins from throughout the day, and those are called complementary proteins. So those are one another type. You have animal protein, plant protein, obviously. Then you have fast absorbing protein, slow absorbing protein. As in, when you eat those proteins, it takes time for the body to digest, okay, and in the blood. So those are slow absorbing proteins. The famous example is, okay, from milk. It's a milk protein. Another fast absorbing protein which digests faster in our body, that's whey protein, again coming from milk. Egg protein as are fast absorbing proteins. So they can be divided like
Okay. We come to this point where people start discussing what is BCAA. I've made some questions also from my own running group. Can we take BCAA before a workout, or can we take it during a run? I mean, amino acids are basically the building blocks for proteins. I mean, just elaborate a little bit on what is BCAA. Is it also a necessary synergistic supplementation along with protein for muscle recovery and growth? What products do we have in our food strong to promote and create awareness for young budding athletes?
So when we're talking about BCAA, they're nothing but as called as branch chain amino acids. Okay. Now it is isoleucine, leucine, and valine. Now all these three amino acids are branch chain amino acids, and they are essential amino acids, which means again that it is not synthesized in our body. You have to take it from food or supplements. Okay. Among these three essential amino acids, you have leucine. Okay. Now leucine is after studies have been done, it is said that it's the only amino acid, essential amino acid, which triggers the mTOR1 pathway, which is responsible to stimulate your muscle protein synthesis. Okay, so the important amino acid in leucine, amino acid in branch chain amino acid is leucine. Okay, now there have been studies done wherein it was tested that, let's see, if I give leucine and low amount of, say, whey protein, okay, which has it's a total protein, and another, for another study, I'll take higher amounts of leucine and same amount of whey protein. So it was studied that the portion wherein leucine was the same and the whey protein was less, still the muscle protein synthesis was similar. Okay. Now it suggests that the leucine amino acid triggers the muscle protein synthesis. Now this, if you want to give to a strength athletes or muscle building athlete, it would not work out that much, okay, because you can also get leucine from complete proteins or total proteins. Okay, so then it becomes a waste, because only if leucine you're giving and you're not giving other proteins, then it becomes body can get compromised. The other thing is these branch chain amino acids can also be used as an energy source if your activity is going to be for a longer duration, as in endurance. Okay, if you're running for more than 3 hours, 4 hours, okay, so what happens, protein also gets used up as an energy source. Okay, so sometimes if you're taking BCAA during this long duration activities, it might help, but it is shown that it is not much of an importance for a strength and power athlete. Maybe you can give loose, and even in supplements you have to see if you're purchasing a brand, what amount of leucine, how much amount of leucine is there. So even if you have brands which say, okay, in one scoop we are getting 30 grams of protein, but see whether it has leucine. Okay, because most of the even plant proteins are coming in the market, it says that the plant protein one scoop is giving 25 grams of 30 grams of protein, but major thing in plant protein is you have to see the leucine content, because not all the proteins have enough of leucine content in them. So main thing you have to see in protein products also.
I think in our food strong arsenal we have one particular product which was, I think, Avartan's baby, you can say. He and his R&D team, they started with the turmeric variety to reduce the inflammatory response in the body. I think you can
that's the best thing I can, because when you're talking about supplements, now if you compare with the food, if you see, food is not only nutrient, food also contains moisture, it also contains, say if you're talking about plant foods, it also contains dietary fiber, it contains some chemicals of plant chemicals or compounds which have shown to improve our health or have some beneficial role. Like example, you have nitrates in beetroot and dark green leafy vegetables which help in improving your stamina. Okay, then have like turmeric. Turmeric has an active compound called as curcumin. Okay, now this curcumin active compound is known to be an anti-inflammatory. It reduces your inflammation. It's also an it also has antibacterial property. That's why we Indians, we are used to putting haldi when we get some injury. So it's antibacterial. Okay, and we also are used to having haldi doodh. So that's a good combination of protein, and you're putting haldi for better recovery. So maybe food strong, it is, I think, only protein maybe in India which has that turmeric in that protein. So it's drinking haldi doodh. And they do have a flavor, I think, badam flavor or, something like that. So I think that's an interesting, if you are traveling and, you can't carry your milk, you can carry that one sachet and you get a ready haldi doodh with higher amounts of protein and also the benefit of turmeric.
Turmeric, yes. A big shout out to R&D team of Foodstrong, especially Avartan. Thank you so much for bringing this product and giving this product to India. I mean, this was absolutely needed, very much needed. Okay. What is the importance of L-Glutamine and magnesium in prevention of muscular breakdown and recovery among athletes? I mean, we have seen so many people, they say that L-Glutamine is important to promote muscle recovery so that the muscle breakdown doesn't happen on a prolonged basis, and magnesium for your recovery of your bones, nerves, tissues, and muscles. So just elaborate a little bit on that part.
So I'll start with magnesium, because the interesting fact about magnesium is a mineral, okay, which is necessary for almost 300 enzymes in our body. Imagine that 300 enzymes are important in so many various processes and functions in our body. So whether it is, related to your bone development, or whether it is related to your better sleep, whether, it is related to your muscle recovery, muscle maintenance, so many things, magnesium is important, okay? You do get magnesium from food sources also, but most of the times it happens, it's not enough. You're not consuming in enough quantities, and you might need to supplement that, especially in athletes, because so much of intense training, that many reactions are happening in their bodies, okay, that many processes they have to undergo, repair and recovery, and then magnesium is also required for all these enzymes. So if you are deficient in magnesium, that reaction, that enzyme will not get activated, and if that enzyme is not activated, that particular reaction will not happen, that particular process will not happen, okay? So that's why magnesium is also important. When we're talking about L-glutamine, again, it's an amino acid, but glutamine is a non-essential amino acid, okay? So it is synthesized in our body. But here the interesting take is, glutamine can become a conditionally essential amino acid. It means if your requirements is higher, like in terms of athletes, they're training at intense levels, and they require so much of protein and amino acids, or in an injury state where the recovery has to be faster, the requirement is higher, or if a person has some disease, and again the person has to recover, during these physiological stages, the requirement of these amino acids is higher, and the body cannot cope up with synthesizing these amino acids. Then these amino acids, like glutamine is one of them, which becomes conditionally essential amino acid, means you have to take it from the diet or food or supplements, okay? So glutamine again has an importance in those terms, because during the increased requirement, your body cannot synthesize that much glutamine, and you have to take it from either food and supplements.
So boys and girls, don't go just popping around glutamine and magnesium as of now. You still need to consult a dietitian or a sports nutritionist. Okay, let's take some audience questions if we have. Okay. Okay. Aarti here has asked, is there any specific diet while for female runners when they're having the periods on?
Aarti, I cannot give away a general this thing. Yes, but when we're talking about female and male, whether it's a runner or an athlete, okay, female physiology is altogether from male athletes or male physiology, okay? Your hormones, when you're talking about the period day, you have 2 phases in the entire month wherein the hormone levels go up and down. Now, yes, there is, a nutrition strategy for female athletes also, depending on what phase they are and what foods they need to include during that phase and maybe decrease during that phase, okay? But it depends on each female also, because you have seen most of the females, their periods are irregular, so their hormones, whether the estrogen hormone is high, the progesterone is low, depending on what is your hormone levels and how you can balance it out accordingly, the foods are given. So I don't want to, make a general statement here that this foods are good or these foods are, can be consumed less. But yes, for females, depending on their entire this menstrual cycle, in what phase they are, there are slight changes, in which phase you can take higher amount of carbohydrates, in which stage you can take higher amounts of antioxidants or magnesium just before your period starting. Few days you can, increase your magnesium foods or take a magnesium supplement and focus on vitamin B6 and B12. This can help improve, your cramp resistance or decrease your cramps, menstrual cramps. So there are some things you can increase and decrease according to your phase.
Okay. One question from my side, because I've been advocating this on a very regular basis to most of my friends and athletes also. I mean, protein is broken down in the liver. Protein degeneration happens in the liver. And even when you take alcohol also breaks down, it happens in the liver part. So most people, they say that you can have, after protein, you can have alcohol, which I strongly don't suggest. Where I tell them that if you want to have alcohol, then don't take protein on that particular day. So how far is that? Is that a myth or is it true?
So basically it is not good for alcohol if you're taking, okay? So your body will first want to throw out the alcohol, first want to degrade the alcohol. So it will stop other processes and it will first try to, because alcohol is like, a foreign substance to the body. It wants to get rid of that. So it will stop other thing and first will focus, or this is on simple terms I'm talking, but it first start degrading that alcohol. So it is, alcohol is also dehydrating. And when we are talking about protein foods, protein metabolism in our body requires, water. That's why we say if you're on a higher protein diet, please also increase your water intake, because if you're having higher protein foods, you are prone to dehydrate yourself. Okay, so again, it's a contradictory thing that if your alcohol is dehydrating and if you're again having protein foods, protein metabolism will also, push you to dehydration. So it's better if you're having alcohol, please eat something, proper food, some carb foods and all those, and limit your alcohol intake also. Alcohol again is not good for recovery, because as I told you, body will first degrade the alcohol and first processes that, and your recovery process will be prolonged. So because it happens, right? Marathon is over, it is over. So let's party, have
Let's
a can
party.
of beer, and
Yes.
it happens for fun, all those things. So party later, but first focus on your recovery foods.
Okay. Now people talk about carb loading. I mean, what exactly is carb loading? How do you do it efficiently before an upcoming event to extract the maximum benefits on the day?
Okay, so when you're talking about carb loading, it is your, super compensating your, super saturating your muscles with carbohydrate. The muscle store it as glycogen in the form of glycogen. Okay, now there is a process to do that. So if your event is, on a Sunday, you start this process on Monday. So maybe the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, your training, whatever is high on higher intensity, you're training more, but the carbohydrate intake is moderate, somewhere around 50-55% of the total calories coming from carbohydrates. Okay, then start tapering your exercise intensity. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was like 70% and 60%, 50% of your energy starts, intensity starts tapering. And if the run is on Sunday, Saturday, it's complete rest. Okay, so your intensity is tapering. What about your carbohydrate? So carbohydrate intake should increase. Yeah. Now, once what you're doing is, when your training intensity is higher and carbohydrate is moderate, you're using up all the stored carbohydrate from your muscles and from your liver. And then what happens inside the body? Okay, your body needs carbohydrate here. So your enzymes and everything starts like, there's an adaptation wherein they will increase just to, whenever you eat carbohydrate, they will start storing the carbohydrate as form of glycogen in muscles and in liver. So the intensity, when you use up all the carbohydrate, the intensity is going to lower. You're going to lower your intensity and then increase your carbohydrate. So the last 3 days, what is going to happen? Your carbohydrate intake is going to be higher. Yeah, and in this process, what will happen? The saturation of your muscles is going to be more. Like all the carbohydrates is going to be saturated in your muscles and your liver. Now, what is the benefit of this is, during the long runs, during your marathons, or if you're into triathlons, this carbohydrate is useful in using, as a source of energy during the event or during the run, and you will not hit the wall. Okay, so that's the benefit of carb loading. So you decrease the intensity and you start increasing the carbohydrate. So maybe on Saturday, your carbohydrate can be like 65% to 70% of the total calories coming from carbohydrate. So you're super saturating. It's like a simple example. You know that Sunday, say 2-3 days, there's going to be a lockdown. So you want to store, your rice and pulses because you're not going to go outside. Okay, so it's like that, holding your muscles with carbs, and which is going to help you in the event.
Okay, almost coming to the close of this chat session, and one last question. Lastly, how much is diet an important factor in an athlete's life? Is it just we are just thinking too much? Is there an actual science behind it? I know we have discussed this in the first question, but just for the close-up, just elaborate it part once again.
Yeah. So it's a simple thing and simple saying. You all must have heard it. You are what you eat. Yes. Right. So and it is true. Yeah. Because our body is made up of all the nutrients. If you the simplest example, your hair is a protein, your nails are protein. What are your muscles? Their muscles are made up of proteins. It has glycogen, it has fats. Your skin underneath the layer is made up of a fat layer, which helps with your insulation also. Your bones have protein, your bones have calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, all these things. So if you go through your entire body, all the tissues and organs, even the smallest cell in your body, if you see it, all these things, all the cell membrane is made of phospholipids and all those things, which are nothing but, nutrients. And where do you get these? You get these from the food and dietary supplements which you eat, okay, or which you consume, and water also. Now, if you're not eating what your body wants or body requires, then you will not, achieve your health goals, or you will not achieve your performance goals. It is like, putting diesel in a petrol car. Will it run? Yeah, it will require petrol only. Okay, so you have to give what your machine requires, and I think our body is the best machine, top machine in the entire, on the entire world, that even researchers are still finding out how things are functioning inside our body. So if you're not giving its actual fuel, its actual electricity, if you're not recharging with the right type of fuel, I think you will not get those results, and you will not perform at the optimum level. So diet and nutrition, diet is not starving yourself. Diet is, the right type of foods in the right amounts, at the right time, required by your age, your gender, and your physiological state and physical activity. So don't think diet about, just having soups and salads and going on a weight loss journey. So it is more than that. And nutrition, again, it's nourishing your body. It's fueling your body.
Fueling your body. Okay. Diet fueling your body. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the close of a chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have any additional questions, please post us those questions on Food Strong at Instagram. We will try to answer it to our best ability. And Apurva, thank you so much for being a part of this and clearing up so many doubts and myths regarding this nutrition, protein, diet, and the science behind it and how to do it. And big shout out to Food Strong also for supporting all its athletes whenever they can, wherever they can. On that note, thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys. Good
Thank
night.
you. I also want to say thank you to Food Strong team for inviting me for this session, and thank you, Doctor, because you are an amazing host, and we had so much fun interacting for the our preparatory session also. Thank you so much connecting with you also.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.